What is up, everybody? Welcome to my upload. I am going to be covering Miss Katie Joy without a crystal ball. We're going to go off of a live she did. It's been a while back, but I'm just going to kind of break in and let you guys know about how I used to cover and how things have changed and not changed with her. So let's just get right into it and see what all this loony lady has to say. All right, give me just a second. Boom, boom. All right, guys, you ready? Let's go.
My hair is such a mess.
Girl, you've been talking about your hair since you started YouTube. We're all tired of it. Like, it is what it is. You got some crazy looking braids in there that don't even look good. Anyway,
You guys.
first off, too, all the money that you're making and you ain't still got that chin implant fixed. I'm not trying to talk about nobody's looks or anything like that, but come on, girl, you can get your freaking chin fixed. You had an implant placed in there, so why don't you get it fixed to where it's straight on your chin and not trying to say, hey, you want to hang out over here with your cheek? Um, anyways,
Instagram says you are waiting to come here, but I have to tell you something. This is like hysterical. So I've only done one video on my channel because
what? You've only done one video on your channel. Hopefully, you're just meaning in regards to this because you've done a lot of bullshit videos on your channel, but that's my opinion. Anyways.
I am so engrossed with the cult family conference.
Go figure. You've always been involved and interested in cults. I don't know if a lot of you guys know I used to cover Katie on a regular basis. I would go over all of her IG lives and pull out all the bullshit and irony that it was going on. But I gave her a break for a little while to see if she would change. She grew miraculously, but I don't think she's gotten any better as a person. She seems to be even more cocky, as you'll see in this video. This is from 18 weeks ago, and she's still acting the way she did 4 years ago. So,
You guys, I have been watching the active live stream of the
is that, hair in your lipstick there? Um, I don't know if you guys have watched her videos in the past, but she's very, very sloppy about putting makeup on. So much so that she ended up with an infection on her face from not cleaning her makeup brushes. They were grody. She was showing them online and all of the above. And they were disgusting. And she kept putting that over a serious infection she had on her forehead. Ugh.
cult family conference. Uh, and I am seriously like mind blown.
Like, seriously, like, mind blown. And in reality, Katie is harassed and bashed so many people online, and for her to get upset when other people have an opinion on her just blows my mind.
And if you have not seen my brand new video, make sure that you check out my YouTube. I just posted one on Robin and Mary. But so the IBLP is doing this like whole family conference right now, and it's being live streamed onto their YouTube channel. And it is literally absolutely hysterical.
Katie, you've always been involved in all this culty stuff online, like talking about these cults and all that. And it kind of at this point seems like you've made your own cult over there, the WOACB cult.
And it's not hysterical in like a ha ha way. It's kind of hysterical in these people really are so tone deaf and brainwashed that they literally believe that they are safe.
Into believing that you're a good person. You've done a lot of really bad things in the past, in my opinion, and you get away with them. For instance, the text messages that you just decided to put out and blame other people for, when you know deep down, Katie, you were the one that sent that text message in the DM because it was just as bad as your public post from your verified account.
in prison. So it's the nightly talk, you guys, and SM Davis is the keynote speaker tonight. Now, if you're not familiar with SM Davis,
And if you're not familiar with SM Davis, whatever, quit with the Valley Girl shit, really, seriously.
he is Caleb Williams' grandfather. Yeah, that's right. So
Yeah, that's right. Do you see how she's grabbing her hair? She's like, like she's so good. Like she's so much better than everyone. Look at this.
Caleb Williams' grandpa is like up on the stage and he's talking about forgiveness.
Do you like whenever you watch like the housewives or people that are like bougie or whatever, you see them act like that? Why in the hell are you acting like that, Katie? Because you ain't bougie.
Giving your enemies. He did a whole thing about, he did a whole speech this afternoon about pride. And he had this really random, allergies. I'm sorry.
Allergies my ass, girl. You rub that nose through this whole damn stream. We all ain't stupid. We know you snorting that Adderall.
He had this whole
In my opinion.
thing on pride. And he was talking about this pastor friend that got in trouble in the 1990s. And he's like, yeah, he threw a kid at church and he was like, he got in trouble. And I told him that if he just did a press conference, he might not get charged.
I'm sorry. I don't really watch any of these people that she is talking about. But from when I used to cover 3 and 4 or 5 years ago, this woman has not changed one bit. Except for she got a little bit better at doing her makeup. Apparently she got some eyebrow stencils, because the eyebrows are half-ass looking okay, but they are circular, which that's a new eyebrow shape to me, like just round eyebrows, like okay. And Katie, you've made remarks about my forehead before, and what I'm looking at right here is a lot of forehead. So you ain't got no room to talk on that, in my opinion.
By the prosecutor for child maltreatment or abuse. And I just said, you just need to admit it. And maybe if you just do a press conference, because this whole situation was going viral.
Was going viral. Like, when did you become a Valley girl?
And I'm like, and he's going on and on about this super old story from 1994 to talk about pride. And I kept thinking, SM, you have an actual story that happened in 2021 that's way more relevant to your cult.
Oh, yeah. You see that cat that just walked behind her? Just for you animal lovers out there, PETA, all that. That same cat I have on video on my channel where she is making Christmas dinner, picks the cat up off the counter, and throws it across the room. Videos on my channel if you'd like to look at it.
Then this guy that threw a kid, which by the way is horrible, and he did.
You talking about throwing kids? You had no problem throwing cats. I mean, it is. I love my animals like children, so
End up getting charged, and he was convicted of child maltreatment. So that's the good news. And he lost his ministry.
That's
And he got fired from the church. So all
okay. So how can anybody say that like him getting charged was right, but how can anyone say that any kind of situation like what she just mentioned is good in any way, shape, or form? It may be just that guy got what he deserved for doing that, but you're like it's so good, it's great. Like what?
of that is good news. Now, SM was trying to get him out of the charge by saying he was sorry and he didn't mean to do this. Anyways, I thought
That she's thinking of something to say.
why are you talking about this random guy from 1994? Why don't you talk about John?
why do you talk about everybody that don't concern you? Seriously, like you talk about celebrities that you have nothing to do with, you talk about creators you have nothing to do with, and you're allowed to speak on it. So what, doesn't everyone have the right to freedom of speech?
Josh Duggar. Like, Josh Duggar is your family friend, and he has a whole lot of pride. He's in prison right now framing your grandson.
So that you think that this is something to smile about, that there is a Cho in prison that is blaming someone's grandson, and you're just so happy about all that? That is ridiculous, Katie, that you are sitting there with a shit-eating grin on while saying this.
He's got his lawyers arguing in the appeals court that your grandson, committed these crimes and downloaded child pornography. Why are you talking about this prideful guy that threw a child in 1994? You should be talking about Josh Duggar downloading child pornography.
Katie, this has been going on for a very, very long time, and why you just keep going at this family, I don't understand. The family in this case is somewhat of a victim. I don't know the whole story behind the Duggars. I've never really kept up with all of them. But you cannot hold the parents responsible for what Josh did. That's not right. They didn't teach him that, I'm pretty sure, because none of the other ones are doing it. But, you act like, they're all involved in, like, the parents okayed it or something. Like, Katie?
Or child sexual abuse material, and his pride that has him still in prison blaming your grandson for a crime your grandson didn't commit, though your grandson is a sex offender. I'm sorry to say that, but it's the truth.
Your grandson is a sex offender. And I mean, I'm saying, because it is the truth. She is so fucking happy to say someone is a sex offender. Like, no one should be happy talking about sex offenders. I'm sorry. No one.
So your
And, yeah, unless you a chomo your damn self. And I'm not saying you are, but who in the hell laughs about anything to do with the chomo? I'm sorry.
grandson's a sex offender. Your other grandson, he is charged with child abuse because he like totally kicked his, oh my God, horribly abused his stepson. So SM, you're
Okay, and there you go with the oh my god. Okay. Oh, Katie, or AKA Karen Joy. Anyways, I'm not gonna say that.
opinion on like child rearing and being a good parent is like, and then you're telling the story about this guy from like 94. I know someone who's literally been in the news that's been viral. And here's the whole thing is he was being very cagey. Like you could tell that it was like he's talking about a big story in the news. It was like he wanted to talk about Josh, but he's talking.
Katie, every story you bring to the internet, you act like is big news. Like, and some of it is actually people's personal family information that you're blasting out there. Like, these people signed to be on TV shows and to have their life out there and to have their life scrutinized. Yes. But it seems to me that you have become extremely obsessive over this family. My opinion, but I believe you are obsessed with this family. I don't know if you wish you grew up the way that they did, or that you had that type of family camaraderie, or that you had family like that at all. Like, you cannot say that they are all bad people. Like I said, I don't watch the show. The guy who's the Cho, absolutely, he deserves whatever he gets. Anyone that has those charges deserve whatever they get. But I've never seen someone take so much joy in talking about something like this. It's really sad. And what do you got going on with that hair? Like, did you? I mean, okay, if you let your kid do it and he was like, "Mommy, I want to help you with your hair," Something like that, I'd rock it all day long too. But if you did that to your own hair, what in the hell were you thinking?
Talking about this obscure random pastor that threw a kid at church, which is horrible, by the way. But there's far worse things that pastors are doing at churches that he could be talking about, like sexually abusing kids or.
Not all pastors are sexually abusing kids. You just like lumped them all into a big group like they all do it. No, there's some sick and twisted ones out there that do quite a bit of them in the Catholic communities, but not all of them. So don't make it sit there and sound like that. And then this is coming from somebody that's pagan. Like you just you can't lump them all in a group just because there's some bad apples.
Whatever. But, and he's like, oh, and the kid only had a rug burn. It wasn't even that bad. And he ended up getting convicted of a misdemeanor. So he has this whole long story about a guy that gets convicted of a misdemeanor, which, by the way, it's horrible either way. But why aren't you talking about the felons? Why aren't you talking about the felons, SM?
Because maybe he thought that even though it was just physical abuse, it warranted the respect of being talked about just like any other one. Like, so you're mad that he's talking about the preacher that recently just threw a kid and not talking about all these felon preachers. What, Katie?
So then, get this. Then this evening rolls around. And they have all these people, they have these cute kids that look totally brainwashed singing, and they have no affect, and everyone's look super happy because they have that like blank IBLP stare.
They couldn't have just been happy, you know. It has to be something to do with culty stuff, right, Katie? Because that's what you're obsessed with. It's culty stuff. Well, if you're obsessed with culty stuff, there's a little community called Bomb Nation you might want to check out because they culty as fuck, they claim.
And this guy from the prison ministry comes on, and he's just like, we are saving people in the prisons in Arkansas. We are doing so.
Hold up. You're saving people's in the prison in the people in the prisons in Arkansas? Okay. What the fuck?
So many seminars, you guys. We have been in Arkansas for 30 years. We go to all the Arkansas prisons.
Oh, do they? They go to all the Arkansas prisons. Now, just recently, I don't know if you guys know, but I've been covering the Jessica Kent situation, friends with Nicole. I actually know a lot of people that have been incarcerated in Arkansas. So tread lightly on what you say here.
We are changing lives. We had 23 really bad guys get saved, and we like fixed them, and we.
So you claiming, or so they're claiming that they're saving prisoners. A lot of them do that and use that just to get the fuck out of prison and then turn right back to who they were. They're not all of them ignorant. A lot of them are really smart and they get smarter when they're in prison because they read up on the shit and everything. But you crazy, Katie.
Made them go through the seminar, and the seminar plays like 53 times a year in Arkansas's prisons, and we're.
Okay, so when did this start happening? I'm curious if any of you guys in the comment section know when they started doing this Arkansas ministry thing. Um, because like I said, I know some people that were in the Arkansas correctional facilities down there, and they will be able to verify or not verify or call her bullshit pretty much.
Recruiting and helping these people turn their lives around, because we know that everyone makes mistakes. I'm thinking,
From what I hear, the Arkansas prisons or jails or whatever are not. They're not all about rehabilitation. They could care less in reality, but whatever.
Arkansas. Wonder why you're in Arkansas.
Arkansas.
Why is it that you're in Arkansas? Why is everyone in Arkansas recruiting for the IBLP, Jim?
Everyone in Arkansas is recruiting for the IBLP. What the hell is the IBLP? I've never even. I'm gonna have to do my due diligence and research that word. But what the hell? I ILBO prison, Bureau of Prisons, but IL would be what, like a protection facility? Would it be like some type of a protections facility? Because this dude's a celebrity that's been put in prison for um uh child P. Yeah, it doesn't sound right.
And Bob Duggar. So then they're like, and we go to Florida, which is where Michael Keller is. So Anna's dad is doing all his ministry, and then they're in Florida and in Arkansas, and they're like recruiting all these people. And I'm like, but you guys, Josh Duggar was raised in your curriculum. How come he's in prison?
You know why he's in prison? Because he did child pornography, and that doesn't mean it has anything to do with the program that he was involved in. It could have been, but you can't guarantee that. So you stating that as fact is kind of fucked up.
If your program fixes prisoners and if all they have to do is believe in God, why did Josh molest people?
So wow. Okay, so being pagan is really this it's just really messed up to me. But no, you don't just have to believe in God and all your sins are gone. Like, I'm sorry, that's just not how it works. Um, you do time for what you do to people, period. And if you're gonna mess with little children, you deserve whatever the hell you get. Most likely, you won't even make it out of the prison.
Why did he sexually assault the babysitter? And certainly, why did he allegedly rape the escort? And why was he downloading torture videos?
Now, this is disgusting. I don't know anything about the prostitute, but the fact that he was downloading torture videos of toddlers is absolutely vile. And he better hope that he is in segregation, because if he is not, he will not make it over this next year, pretty sure. It's just how it works. Like, there's going to be a lifer in there. There's going to be somebody that lost their children to something or that was done to their children. Somebody is going to do something. This isn't like I'm speaking it as fact, it's just common knowledge.
Of toddlers. I'm like, are you serious? Are you serious? You're saying that you're changing lives, but your most vocal, like your biggest family, the biggest family name in the IBLP's history. Bill Gothard was a big guy, but like nobody has.
Okay, so I after this, guys, I am gonna go look at the IBLP and see what the hell that is, what she's referring to, and do a little bit more um, research on it. But yeah, I don't know what the IBLP means.
Has made the IBLP more famous than the Duggars. The family that has made your cult so big and so famous, their golden child is in prison for sexually downloading child sexual abuse material. And you guys are like, we're fixing prisoners, and all they have to do is believe in our Journey of the Heart and basic seminar. And I'm like, Josh Duggar has gone through the basic seminar like 14 times. Why doesn't it work for him?
Maybe because he's just a totally sick and twisted individual. I'm not saying I agree with anything that the parents do or whatever, but sometimes you just can't fix them. Sometimes that's just how they work, and you know, they get, yeah, duct tape don't stop stupid, it just silences it. So, um, but the world has its own way of taking care of those type of people, so
How come you have so many kids that went through this program that have been arrested and are in prison for sex crimes? If all it took was believing in God, don't you think that your biggest family that has the golden child wouldn't have a child in prison? Like,
And
hello? And they're like, please pray for the ministry. We are saving lives. Don't you know that prisoners are people too?
hold up, wait a
Prisoners.
minute. Yes, prisoners are people too, Katie. You're sitting here mocking someone stating that prisoners are people too. Hell yeah, they are. Some of them go down. Sometimes they go down for bullshit reasons. Sometimes they go down just because the cops had a bad fucking day. Sometimes they go down because a dirty cops planting shit on them. Sometimes they go to prison for shit that never should have been even talked about. Like it's bullshit. So you two act like prisoners are just absolutely so bad. Yeah, there's a lot of horrible ones out there, but not everybody that's been to prison is a bad person. And I can say that from experience because my husband spent a lot of time in prison, as we all know. 17 years rehabilitated. All his crimes were victimless, unless they were the police that were beating on him, and that's another story. But um, I take offense to what you say, Katie.
Our loved ones and their children and their
Yeah, their loved ones and their children are being affected by it.
somebody's brother and their fathers, and they need love too.
And they do need love too, Katie. You got problems with that? Let's have a friendly debate. You want to talk about how prisons don't deserve love? Fuck you. Okay? You don't know what the everybody went down for, okay? So you just sit there and mock someone that says prisoners need love too. Sometimes all they need is a little bit of fucking love and encouragement, and they can rehabilitate themselves into a whole new person, as my husband has. Now, people who don't end up in jail and get away with shit like you do, Katie, will be a bad person until you croak, in my opinion.
Meanwhile, they're not at all promoting like the victims of these guys.
There's not always victims to everybody in prison. There's not always victims. Sometimes the prisoner is the victim. How about you have an issue with a police officer that just doesn't like you, decides to pull you over and put drugs in your car and then arrest you for it? Can't prove it didn't happen. You go to jail for however long the freaking state decides to give you. Not every person that is in prison has a victim. They sometimes are the victim.
I imagine while they're like telling everyone about all these really bad guys, right, doing these horrible things, I'm imagining the victims of these people, if they're still alive.
If they're still alive. So you just think everybody in prison's victims are just tortured, possibly not alive. Like, no, that's not everyone. You cannot lump every prisoner into that. You need to be stating some prisoners, the ones that do this type of stuff. You cannot lump all prisoners into one group and state that about them. That right there is slander, defamation. You've written it, you've spoke it, all of it. And you're lucky if some of these people don't try to sue the fuck out of your ass.
Like wanting to vomit all over the IBLP and saying, what are you doing for me? Where's my reciprocity? Where's my love? How does the IBL?
Boy, Katie. I guess I picked the right one because or should I say you picked the right one? Cause I'm coming back, Katie. You're not gonna like it. I promise.
And I'm just sitting there going, this whole thing is about like praying for people that do you wrong and forgiving people that have done bad things to you. And
Yeah, so what about that? I thought forgive people that do bad things and all that, huh? Well, what about the prisoners? They could have just, like been hungry and stole food from a grocery store and they ended up in prison. It could have been possibly an act of addiction. And needed help and done something that got them locked up. You don't know all these people's stories, and the fact that you're speaking on them as a group all in one is fucked up. I got people that are in the prison community on this freaking platform right now that will come up on my panel and tell you who the fuck you are. So, I mean, if you want it, all you got to do is ask.
being a good steward of like being like Jesus. And it's so obviously layered on top of the fact like they're avoiding the conversation about Josh, which is so obvious, and yet there's
Okay, it's not the family's fault that Josh is fucked up, okay? You cannot hold his family responsible for his sick and twisted mind. I'm sorry. That's like holding me responsible for something my brother did. My older brother was a piece of fucking shit. But I'll be damned someone's gonna hold me responsible for it. So you can't hold the family responsible for something that that dumb fuck chose to do. The sick, twisted dumb fuck chose to do.
sort of talking about it, but not really. And then they're talking about all of this forgive people that speak badly about you. So then they're like,
Forget people that speak badly about you. You would never do that. But my real question here, Katie. Why are you so interested in these cases that involved child and SA and all that? Why are you so interested in it? I'm just curious. Like you tend to cover this type of stuff on a regular basis, at least you used to, and it seems like you're still carrying on with the same ways. Looks like the same purple grody couch sitting in the back. Yeah. So, Katie, you're not fooling anyone.
throwing in that people are criticizing them, like Ginger in her book.
Oh yeah, and for you guys that don't know, you know that dog that she loves, Frida, that sits in the back all the time, like she acts like she loves to death. She lives in Minnesota, where it gets like frigid code, like bring your animals in or they will freeze to death type code. And because she was, the same video where she throws her cat across the room, she also leaves her dog outside in the code, and he is constantly just clawing at the screen door or there's their door trying to get in. And then he runs up with a frozen turd in his mouth, and she takes a freaking picture of it and acts like it is so funny that her dog has a poopsicle in its mouth. Well, I'm sorry. I don't think it's funny at all. I think it's disgusting. And I think you should clean up after your animals and not have enough shit laying around the yard that the dog picks it up thinking it's a fucking toy. Um, there are some dogs that are shit eaters. I get that, but I know my two don't do it. But he also cleans the yard every other day. Apparently, y'all ain't cleaning the dog shit out of the yard enough so that they're freezing and turning into poopsicles, and your dog's chewing on it. Like, come on, Katie, you spend too much time online, in my opinion. But that's my opinion. I'm sure a lot agree, but
I know.
I know.
So they're like, people that are bitter will
People
be
that are
defiled and they
bitter
will not go to heaven.
and they're
And we
not
should
gonna
just
have
pray
it.
for them and love them, even if
Valhalla, baby.
they say bad things about us, even if they criticize us, because those that criticize, that don't forgive, will lose their salvation. I
Huh, Katie. So are you Christian or atheist still? Curious.
mean, that's basically what they said. I know. And there's like, oh God. Then there's this family who sends all
Okay. For those of you that don't know, you can't see it right now because the play button's blocking it. But Katie had a chin implant placed in her face years ago, and it slipped. Now, this woman has made a lot of money from YouTube. If that was the case with me, I think I'd have gone back to the doctor and had him replace it or at least take it out so that my chin didn't look like it was like hanging over to the side, like I constantly got tweaker jaw going on. But she does openly take her Adderall that she doesn't seem to need and thinks it's okay to drink on Adderall, which is the bottle itself says do not drink on this medication. Anyways.
all their kids there to sing. And the dad runs a marriage counseling group out of Missouri. And they're friends with the Duggars. So this family has all their kids singing, and the kids are cute, but they have no affect again. They all look really unhappy on the stage, even though they're singing and they're supposed to look happy. They're like not smiling and it's totally serious. And they look like they're wearing their best IBLP garb.
You do a lot of assuming, and that makes an ass out of you, and not me though. You and your husband, me, whatever. He can be me.
So, yeah, that's what
So
I've been doing
yeah,
today.
so yeah, that's what I've been doing today. I've been getting up in other people's business, so I'm gonna start getting in her business. So Katie, like, oh my god, are you ready for Exposed to come back at you or what? Like, you tell me, honey. Trust me, you won't be able to get me for bullying this time. I know what I'm doing. Fair use.
So, if you want to watch the IBLP make fools of themselves, you can check their live stream out.
If you guys want to see Katie Joy make a fool of herself, you can check her out on Without a Crystal Ball on Instagram because that's usually where she makes the biggest fools of herself. Originally, I used to get her content from IG that she refused to post on her YouTube because she had two different personalities going on, her IG personality and her YouTube personality. Well, once people got to realize that she basically has multiple personalities, um, they didn't like her as much. Now, I do have subscribers that are both mine and or we share subscribers. We still do to this day. And they don't even hate me for the things that I say because in reality, they know it's the truth. You are the one that said to me 5 years ago, Krista, if you don't start commentating on all of my lives, then I am going to strike you. So just know you caused this one, sweetie.
Um, it is child abuse. These poor children.
Okay, hold on. Child abuse, these poor children. There's a video on my channel that I would love for you guys to go back and listen to. Um, it is where it's in the video uploads. If you go through, it's got her and Todd, where her and Todd get into an argument, and you need to hear what Todd says and what she says. Uh, being locked in the basement with the, or being locked in a room with the son for 10 hours straight or 9 hours straight, like screaming at her. Yeah. Um, go check that video out and tell me how well her parenting was at that time. In my opinion,
And they've got like,
and she's always played with that hair, and everyone has always told her, "Katie, stop playing with your hair. You're already thinning it out. You're gonna lose it." At this point, her forehead used to be like a little smaller than mine, but this bitch's forehead then grew like it's as big as mine now. So, welcome to Mega Mind Land, Katie. Still got you beat though. I promise you, I will do my hair and makeup and put you to shame. You like to clown on other people and the way that they look and the way that they talk and the way that they dress and all that types of stuff. You've done it in the past. A lot of these people that are new don't know the real you. And I so hope they go back into my old commentary and watch it all because you have not changed one lick.
they've got SM Davis, who like literally has an entire seminar about beating your child, doing their keynote speaking. Oh, and if you guys are excited, Gil Bates is speaking tomorrow. I cannot wait to hear the racist, misogynist.
Oh my god, you guys know, like, Bill Gates is, like, speaking tomorrow? Like, quit with the fucking Valley Girl shit, Katie. You and a certain someone else that's been running their mouth. What's up with y'all talking like Valley Girls? Because you sure enough fuck don't look like them.
Xenophobic, sexist, probably hate speech that comes out of Gil Bates tomorrow. He might joke about beating his kids. He does that a lot at the
She said Gil Bates. She's first it was Bill Gates, now it's Gil Bates.
IBLP conferences. He'll be like, I spanked my kid. I was whipping them. It was hilarious. Like, Gil, you're not funny. So Gil Bates.
Oh, I was spanked as a child, and I got more respect for my parents than a lot of these kids that are out here that aren't being spanked do. I don't know if that's the reason, if that's just my personality and how I turned out. I'm not saying that I would do it, but I know it worked on me. That's the only thing I could say.
Bates is speaking tomorrow at the cult camp. And the whole time in between all the speakers and everything, they sing these really weird hymns that I've never heard before. And they have.
Katie, do you really think you know? I mean, honestly, do you know any hymns? You're atheist, right? Do you know any hymns to say that these are weird? Probably not. You're just running your mouth.
I don't need a vacation. But anyways, I'm telling you about the cult. And
anyways, I'm telling you about the cult. You have been telling everybody about culty this, cult that, cult this, cult that. Well, you know what? You want to go searching in on a new cult that's right here on YouTube? Check out Bomb Nation. They claim they're culty as fuck. I would so love to see you two go at it.
they have all of these in between all this, they're selling all of their programs. So they're like, now this guy comes on stage, he goes, I teach the Quest program during the summer, and my
Why is it when she imitates anyone's voice, she's like, I teach that thing for the summer? Like, oh my God. Not like, why is every imitation you do is Valley Girl? Whether it's male, female, whatever, Valley Girl. And if you're speaking about a male and you're saying that he speaks like that, it's almost derogatory.
goal during the summer is to get young men 3% closer to God. So if you want to get 3% closer to Jesus, you can spend $7,000 or however much money this program is. We're going to give you $100 off just for coming to this conference today, and I will get you 3% closer to God. I promise.
3% closer to God. I promise. What the hell kind of place is this? But I'm not surprised that Katie found something like this. Like, she digs and digs and digs for culty stuff. Like, cult this, cult that. She's always been, I don't know. Next thing you know, she'll be talking about aliens invaded her and shit.
I don't know. So they're selling, and then they're like, we need volunteers in the prison ministry. Come to the Quest camp. And
In the prison ministry. Most prisoners use that just to get out of prison early.
then SM Davis is on stage and he's like, you need to buy my book. You need to buy this program. And then Eric Ludy is there.
But Katie, you get on here talking crap about so many people. A lot of people don't agree with what you say, but you're like, here's my super chats, here's this, here's that, here's memberships. Join members, guys.
Who's like this pastor that has his own program. And so Eric Ludy's on stage. He's like, I have this amazing program. If you just come to my state, I will teach you more about, I don't know how much the Quest program is. So I'm just spitballing.
You're just spitballing with most of the shit you say. You don't know a lot of things for fact, and you have been called on that many times and have had to go back and retract stuff and fix it because you tend to speak on a lot of shit you don't know about. in my opinion.
It's probably expensive, but they're like, you can get 3% closer to God. And I'm like, yeah. And apparently there's like 440 families there right now. So if Ginger thought that her book was going to dismantle the
440 families? Okay. Why do I feel like that number just popped out of her head?
IBLP, it certainly didn't work because they're just like, whatever, Ginger, we've still got brainwashing to do. And you're not going to stop us from washing brains.
What? Okay. I hope she don't think brainwashing really means washing brains. Uh, hopefully that was a joke, but she's not laughing.
I know, he said 3% closer to God. Oh, yes, that is Charlie. Here.
Now that's the kitty you got threw across the room on Christmas of 2020. No, Christmas of 2019. That cat was on the counter getting its cat hair all over her Christmas hors d'oeuvres, and she picked it up and threw it across the room and kept her dog out in the freezing cold weather while he begged to come in and chewed on poopsicles. You're such a great animal owner.
Even Charlie knows it's
Psych.
bull crap.
The cat's like, Mom, don't throw me. Please don't throw me again. Please.
Oh, he likes to bite. Oh,
Ah,
he's a
that's
biter.
what you get. That's what you get. Yeah, he's biting the fuck out of you because he knows what you did to him 4 years ago. You threw him across the room. Cats don't forget. They got memories. Them motherfuckers didn't forget shit. He said, throw me again, bitch. See what happens.
So 3% closer to God, and everything they get you to this conference, then to just
I'm sorry. I've had cats in the past, but I have never had any of them like playing with a toy. They'll do that, but like I have never been petting my cat and it just attacked the fuck out of me for no reason.
tell you everything. So Eric's like, come to my program and I will fix you. And then SM Davis is all, I have this amazing program for children, and one about child rearing, and then another one about discipline. You should check out my programs.
The is she gonna be like trying to pull a Molly Golightly here? I can see it. She'd be like, "Does anyone need a life coach? I think I'm going into life coaching because like I know it all. I can see it."
Yeah, it is totally big business. So that was a cat meowing. You are the most wonderful woman I've ever seen in my entire life. I love you. Well, thank you.
Oh wow.
So that
Okay. So she just got a comment from someone saying you're the most wonderful woman I've ever met in my life. And she goes, "Okay, thank you." Anyways, uh, for someone to say that to you, first of all, they probably out of their mind. But second of all, you should have been a whole lot nicer and given them a little bit more praise for saying that about you because I guarantee you don't get that very often unless it's just your little groupies there trying to fucking kiss your ass. But it's my opinion.
that's what I have for now. So if you want to watch the IBLP and their ridiculousness, go to the Institute in Basic Life Principles page. They're live streaming. There's literally like only 35 people watching, and the live chat is not on. So you
Oh, so let's make fun of someone's numbers. Okay, that's like the perfect thing to do. Watching other people's numbers so that I can say that I'm better than them. Whatever, Katie. Just wait.
can't like leave spam. Have fun, guys.
Boy. She says, have fun, guys. All right. Well, that's it for this one. I will be back. I will be live here later on. Um, Probably the next hour or so. But I wanted to get on here and do a coverage of Miss Katie Joy again. We're back at it. Like I said, at least once a week, we're going to cover her bulls. shit. And we'll do a commentary, and then I'll have AMZ or somebody up with me to commentate. Um, because everybody in the community pretty much is AMZ's been around just as long as me, and we've been around since Miss KJ was at 10,000 subscribers, and doesn't seem like she's changed one bit. So, time to expose Miss Katie Joy for who she really is. I hope to see you guys soon. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up for anybody watching this. I sorry I didn't do it on a live, but these type of commentary lives I do as a upload just to be on the safe side. But we're gonna play my exposed fan bam out, and I will talk to you all in just a bit when I go live. Love ya. Bye.